Hello, and welcome to the Crowfall Advanced Crafting Guide, Runic Book of Arkon Part 2. A little shout out to Winter Blades for their nice and easy access Winter Blades crafting combination guide. Go ahead and look it up at winterblades.net. For this runic book, we will be using the attack power and armor penetration fire, since this is, in my opinion, a better combination for PvP. That combination is silver iron, by the way. So also I'd like y'all to keep in mind that we will be running this crafting video at a faster speed. The first part of this, we will be creating 2 metal bars so that we can create the book clasp, and then we will create the remaining afterwards. All of these have been coming out at pretty decent percentages. They're not maximum, but really trying to roll that maximum isn't worth it in the long run. Unless, of course, you have plenty of dust and CE to spare. Now, I would like y'all to all keep in mind, in order to create these, no matter what crafter you are on, you must have that Codex of Mystical Power, except, of course, the Jewel Crafter, which is going to need the 186 simple steps for creating items of power. This is just for the Runic Book of Arkon, and if you're trying to make a staff, you can go by the same book, just not the same kind of combinations. We are now creating our book clasp, and as per the instructions of my client, I am going to allocate the pips more towards what he wanted, which is higher intellect, some higher attack power, and trying to keep a little bit of armor penetration. He did also want me to try to keep that critical damage up as well, which, when you have a client like this, it's really hard to keep things to where they make them happy. You know, you can never really make anyone happy. There's always going to be somebody, but you can try. And that's why I'm allocating these pips this way instead. You might ask, is there a way to make everyone happy? Well, no. There's really is not. But this is where becoming a crafter really puts your own little mark on things, because the way you spend your points is going to affect this item. No 2 items will ever be the same. Now, I focused mainly on the intellect, lowered the armor pen a little bit just to boost that critical damage, and that's the result right there. Now, I'm also going to create another book clasp, which is why you see another gemstone in my bags. And I'm also going to give a brief little tip, I guess you could say. This technique right here is called bootstrapping. I can make another video later on and go into more specifics with bootstrapping, but what I'm trying to do is create an epic item out of lesser materials. So I use plenty of silver, and as you can see, I'm out of iron. So I can use a rare iron instead, which is blue, and try to combine 1 blue with 2 epics to create that last epic metal bar, which, as you can see right here, I have done successfully. I'll go into another video about bootstrapping later on. Now let's go ahead and create this next book clasp. I'm not quite sure if I want to try a different method of allocating the pips, but I've got materials to spare, and I'm really just trying to choose the better of the 2 items for my client. This way we boosted the critical damage up a bit, but the comparison, really, we're sacrificing too much intellect and too much attack power, in my opinion. Yeah, the critical damage is a little bit better, and the armor pen, it's just, in my opinion, it's not worth it. So what I'll do is I'll keep this as a secondary, maybe for another client later on, or probably just give it away like I normally do to new guildie or some guide looking for a book. But it's really just, it wasn't as good. I'm a little bit picky with all my stuff. So now we're going to create the remaining metal bars for the next part of crafting this runic book, and I will have another video out shortly on to the next crafter, which would be the rune crafter, and then finally we can work on the woodworking part, and all of this just to make one Runic Book of Arkon. But that is why they are considered the best weapons in the game. So now we'll go on to the leatherworking part, which will be attack power and critical damage, the combination strong, strong, and strong. Now I've got a good amount of all three. We're going to speed up this process yet again. This is my leatherworker, which is my last crafter that's on a blue vessel with epic crafted gear and Lego jewels. But anyway, these are the stitched leathers for the next part. I believe they're going to come into effect for part 3 and 4 of this video series. I just wanted to go ahead and show you that everything is crafted and the amount of involvement with every crafter. The leatherworker doesn't have a large part in all this, but he still plays a part, which is why I just love this game. With the crafting so detailed and so heavily reliant on every other crafter, it just, in my opinion, I think this game is amazing on just the crafting. We haven't even begun to touch the harvesting or the PvP aspect of this game, which is what this game is honestly really about. But it just gives so much more for crafters and harvesters to do if they didn't want to PvP. For instance, harvesting. If you're happy harvesting, then oh my god, please, by all means, go ahead. This game has so much content for you. If you just like crafting, please, go ahead. This game is one of the best crafting games I've ever played. Please don't forget to hit that notification button, hit the like button, drop me a comment. I respond to every single one of y'all. I love y'all. And please subscribe. I will be making more videos and pushing out more content, and I hope that everyone will enjoy them. Again, thank you for watching, and I wish all my fellow crows and future fellow crows out there a very safe and fun adventure.